Hello everyone, and welcome back to Victoria 3. Today we're going to be playing as Prussia, and in most cases when you play as Prussia, your end goal is to form Germany. However, I'm going to be doing the opposite, and I'm going to have the goal be to conquer every state in Europe, for the most part, except for the ones which are majority German. So then let's get started. We're going to start out with the water tube boiler, and then after that I tend to go for a Bessemer process, then mechanized workshops, and then either electrical generation or aniline. We're currently taxing luxury furniture. I don't really want to do that, and it looks like our budget can mostly handle that, so I'm going to get rid of that. As it turns out, we actually do not start out with any shipyard, so I'm going to start out with one of those in Pomerania. And I'd like to get a munitions plant in Brandenburg in case I get cut off from Westphalia and all this stuff over here. And then after that, I want to get loads of coal mines so that I can use that coal to get electric street lights and create more services. You already have quite a few lead mines, so I'm going to get a few glassworks after that, as well as one paper mill, East Prussia. That should be good for now. Maybe a few more iron mines would do us well. I'm going to destroy one, or actually I'm going to downsize 2 construction sectors in the Rhineland because I don't think I can pay for all that. As for laws, there's not really a whole lot to do. I would like to get dedicated police force at some point, and I'd also like to expand the citizenship somewhat. But other than that, there's not really a whole lot to do. I'm also going to introduce a services tax. I've switched every government administration building over to standardized filing system, so we have a good amount of bureaucracy to play around with, so I'm going to increase our education investment. Speed the game up, and let's go. We're making a lot more money than I expected, so I'm going to get rid of that services tax that I just introduced. So we are going to be fighting a lot of people in this playthrough. However, we don't have to fight them all at once, so I'm going to improve relations with Great Britain, Spain, and France. I'm going to make a conscious effort not to improve relations with any of the German territories, because if we research nationalism and we have high relations with them, then there's a chance that they will just become part of our country, which, you know, could be very useful for states like this one specifically, so that it'll join our 2 territories, but I said I wouldn't. Now that's quite interesting. I don't think that's supposed to happen. It's telling me that I've got insufficient taxation capacity in Silesia, so I'm going to construct the 2 government administration buildings there when I'm done with the rest. Switch everything over to potatoes and then pick the biggest one. Looks like this one, and then switch that over to apple orchards. What do our people want? It looks like they want grain, liquor, and services. All right, we're working towards services. Looks like we're going to want to build a few more rye farms with potatoes in them, so I'll produce liquor and grain. Also, harvesting tools could be helpful, just in case. Apparently, all of our tool workshops are in the Rhineland, so I'm going to build a few over here. I can kick the landowners out of the government without taking hardly any hit to legitimacy, so I'm going to do that, and then I'm going to start suppressing them. Just the usual. I've got 100 authority to play around with, so I'm going to use that to do the most German thing I can think of and assimilate the Polish. You know, every time I've played this game, Oscar Bernadotte always looks different. He looks the same every time I play as Sweden, but in every other game I've played, he always looks different. I'm going to start improving relations with 2 Sicilies for when they inevitably form Italy. I'm thinking Austria is going to be my first victim. So to be clear, these states in Austria are majority German, so I'm not allowed to take these states. However, I can take the rest of it. Actually, they have a good bit more battalions than I do, so I think I might hold off just a little bit longer until I can strengthen myself a bit more. Change of plans. I think Denmark is going to be my first victim. However, I do need to get a few more ships before I can naval invade them. Man of wars are extremely cheap in my market right now, though, so that shouldn't be too hard. Now, the true question is, do I want them as a puppet or dominion? They don't have a very large army or fleet, so I think they're going to be better as a dominion where they're just paying tribute to me. So once I finish getting this law passed, I'm going to work towards expanding the citizenship. The situation with the radicals is not very going well, and it looks like a great deal of it is coming from discrimination. Currently got a larger fleet than Denmark. I think it's time to strike. They are very fearful. That's good. Ooh, look at that general. Field works. I think I'm gonna send Mr. Moltke on this little adventure. Yep, it really looks like they want to do this. Okay. Saxony wants a defensive pact. No. I said no already. So it looks like the naval invasion got split into 2, and I couldn't do both fronts because I only had 1 general, so we're gonna try this again. This hurts so much. Here's the naval invasion. Let's see, is it gonna work? Looks like it. No. Naval invasion attempt number 2. Looks like the naval invasion succeeded, and there's only 1 front. This spam is gonna get real annoying soon. Well, there's Prussia and Denmark. I guess they were the first on the chopping block. Let's see who we want to get next. I'm thinking Sweden. The overall plan right now is to not go over 100 infamy until I have at least 300-ish battalions, or else I'm just going to get annihilated by France, Austria, and Russia. Start damaging relations. In the meantime, let's look at the Netherlands. Gonna go straight to cultural exclusion. That should make it so that the Polish are not discriminated against. So the last European conquest video I did was as France, and the video was the longest video I've made so far. It was like 42 minutes or so. So I'm gonna try to make this one a whole lot shorter. If you like the longer ones, let me know in the comments though. But personally, I find 40-minute videos a little bit hard to watch sometimes, so I'm just gonna cut out a little bit more than I did last time. I'm thinking right of assembly next. If this causes a revolution, then I'm gonna either increase the enfranchisement or switch to protectionism. We have somehow made it to 100% success chance for cultural exclusion. See it not work? Oh, awesome. Expanding the construction sectors just a wee bit. I've got low enough relations with Sweden now. It looks like I can turn them into a dominion. Or do I want to turn them into a dominion or a puppet? They've got a actually decent amount of battalions. I think I'm going to turn them into a puppet instead. You know, Denmark is my dominion. I wish there was like an option here where I could just say, you're my dominion, you have to join this war, instead of trying to sway them. Especially like, there's no way I can get them to join the war, but they're literally my dominion. I feel like that's stupid. Or they should at least let me like attack through them or something. Dutch have joined. I was going to steal the Dutch East Indies from them. However, that's going to put me above 100 infamy, so it's better not. I also can't puppet them because they are a major power, so it might make more sense to just conquer them outright since I can't puppet them. I think I'll conquer Friesland and maybe a few others. 96 infamy. Do I have enough that I can do another one? Doesn't look like it. I'll just take war reparations then. Oh, okay, they just gave up. Oh, that's good. So I just got all that infamy for nothing. We also got a personal union with Norway. I thought Sweden would retain its personal union, but it looks like it hasn't. So we also have Norway as a personal union with us now, which if you don't know, it's basically a puppet, but they don't give you any money, so they have to join all your wars. I very much want to go after Austria now, but I'm pretty scared that France is going to join in, and if that happens, then I'm going to have a pretty bad time, because I don't have enough troops to fight both of them. Have they modernized yet? Okay, Austria hasn't modernized yet, so we'll have a tech advantage. I really want to like start invading Austria and Russia right now. However, if either of them joins the other, I'm going to be pretty much screwed. And even if not, because with the before update 1.2.7, it was basically if you had a technological advantage, you'd basically win most of the time. I'd say like one battalion could take on like two of theirs if it was technologically superior. But they changed how it works now. And it's a lot more of a numbers game now, so I really do have to match them for the technological advantage to make any difference. And between these two, there's 500 battalions here versus mine 150. And if like France joins in with, which I think they're scripted to do a lot, they've got 200. You see, I'm actually having a lot of trouble right here as Prussia, because usually I would have annexed half this territory by now and I would have expanded so much, but like, the problem with Prussia is that everyone around you hates you, so no matter what you try to do, everyone's going to gang up on you. Well, I was trying to invade the Netherlands. It looks like Austria has joined. All right. Like I said, everyone tries to gang up on you. As long as Russia doesn't join in, I think we should be able to do this, though. I'm feeling really on edge about this, so I'm going to conscript a few people just in case. What do I want? Well, I really want to liberate Hungary, but I did not manage to get a declared interest in there in time, so we're not going to be able to do that. I guess we could liberate Galicia? These aren't great demands, but I guess it'll do. It's currently 90 versus 80. Okay, so we're winning here because we still have that technological advantage. Like I said, see, since we're matching, I'm completely obliterating them, but if they had significantly more troops than me, then I would not be doing very good right now. All right, well, we decided to attack. We just got completely annihilated. See, they had almost twice as many troops as me, and I just got completely obliterated. Which means that I really need the guys over here to push in so that they can be freed up and put over here. Hey, look at that. It looks like we're actually going to push here. This is starting to become a very, very drawn-out conflict. It's been, I think, like a few years, and neither of us have really made much headway. I can't spare any generals right now to do a naval invasion, and plus both sides have more ships than me anyway, so it won't be possible. Finally! All right, we've puppeted the Netherlands. That has knocked one more nation off the list. However, also very importantly, this has given me access to dyes. So you can look at the market right now. It was very expensive for a while because I was trading all of it. But now that we have access to the Netherlands, which has a lot of dye plantations in its overseas colonies and whatnot, I actually have a lot of dyes now. And there's Austria for the first time. I humiliated them, so they're not supposed to target me in war goals for the next 5 years. However, that's definitely not going to happen. More importantly, though, I now have Krakow. That's amazing. Getting loads of money in war reparations right now, so I've gotten rid of basically all the taxes. It's telling me that I have an input goods shortage of silk. However, I'm trying to avoid trading as much as possible because I'm going to go over 100 infamy eventually, and that's going to make it so I won't be able to trade with everyone because everyone will be embargoing me. We've currently got a whole lot of radicals in the country, so I'm going to focus on improving the standard of living for a little bit. I wonder where this is going to go. I want as many people moving to our country as possible so I can get more people to throw into the trenches. So I'm going to do some greener grass campaigns just in general. Mr. Helmut von Moltke, currently fighting in Indonesia. King died. This is a new one. I'm going to make him a general just because. Wow, that is the youngest 40-year-old I have ever seen. Kind of sucks though. That last dude was a pretty good general. He was an expert offensive planner. And this dude just sucks. He's got expensive tastes and he's an opium addict. Alright, it's been about 3 days since that last clip. I've just been really busy, so hopefully I remember what I was doing beforehand. Alright, looks like I've got way too much gold stockpiled. I've got the GDP hasn't risen too much. The standard of living is kind of crappy and there's a lot of radicals. What was I doing? Yoink. No taxes. ¿Quieres ser mi amigo? The answer to that would be yes. I think I'm going to take it slow and steady this time. I'm not as powerful as I am as you start out as France. So I'm going to let my infamy go down a little bit. I'll actually do some alliances and whatnot. And once I feel like I'm strong enough, then I'll go over 100 infamy and just start taking everything. I feel like turning someone into a protectorate wouldn't count as conquering them. So I'm going to try to make this state here into a protectorate so I can connect my two territories and I won't have to use convoys to go from one to the other. Because if I go over 100 infamy, then it's very likely that this state will leave my customs union. Alright, maybe some taxes. Currently, Britain is doing something over here, I don't really know. But it's not really going to affect me if I join them, so I'm going to join them because I believe that'll make them view me in a better light, so it'll be easier for me to improve relations with them. And also Russia, so we'll all be fighting on the same side. We can now produce our own dyes. I'd like to start producing my own silk too, but that's going to take 17 years, so I'm going to go for reinforced concrete next. So the war off in Indonesia that I didn't participate in just ended, and now the Russians are cooperative with me, and so are the British. Going after Oman now. It looks like Russia might join in, but it's honestly not that bad. I feel confident enough that I can take them. Ooh, if the Italians join in, no, that would be a problem because they've got a big navy. Doesn't look like either of them are going to join. Unorthodox strategy. We improve relations with the Russians so then I can invade Austria without them getting involved. Voting, yippee. Alright, the Russians are now neutral towards us and their attitude isn't antagonistic anymore, so I think I'm going to go after Austria. No, 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 and no. Here's an idea. I invade this country and then I take this part from Austria and then I liberate Hungary and Croatia and all those other countries. So then it's basically just this part of Austria will be left, but then I'll own this piece over here and it'll look really wacky. Looks like the next war goal is gonna put us over 100 infamy, so here we go. Well, it looks like the British have joined in. That's really unfortunate. However, I don't really think either of us are gonna be able to beat each other. Ah, nuts. Okay, there goes France, cut down to size. Thankfully, we have been steadily building barracks, so we do have quite a few troops at our disposal at the moment. And our troops are on par with the French, and we have a few more of them, so I think we'll be good. This war is going to be very expensive because I'm mobilizing all 350 of my battalions, so I'm doing a services tax, setting the taxation back to medium. I'm also going to add a tobacco tax. The thing about France is I can conquer all their territory, but this state right here is actually majority German, so I actually can't conquer this state. I'll have to conquer everything around it. Unlike Austria, there's not a lot of states that can be released inside of France, except for Brittany. That's just this state right here, so there's not really a whole lot of carving up I can do here. I'll just have to annex it all directly. You can see right here, there's just barely a border with Luxembourg that I can make it through my market with, so I can take this state and I'll still be connected. I don't have enough troops to spare for overseas territory, so the Netherlands is just getting dunked on right now. They're really fighting tooth and nail over here. It's taken absolutely forever to conquer this territory. It appears as though the French have started conscripting battalions against me, so I no longer have a numerical advantage. I can do that too, though. It appears as though we are doing extremely poorly in the war against France right now. That's highly unfortunate. I'm not 100% sure why. We have right around the same amount of troops. In fact, I have more, but I keep getting less into the fight. My idea was that they're taking loads of attrition, alright? Because I have to use convoys to get over here. But, like, if I select this general, they're only taking 5%. So I don't really get it. I figured it out. They're using first aid, and I'm not. That's going to make a lot of sense, I guess. And they just got into the Netherlands and started a second front. That's fun. Well, we've kicked the French out of France, and we are right back where we started. Yep. This is the whole game. Just waiting. I'm taking massive amounts of war support hits to my war with Great Britain, which was for this one. Oh, I actually didn't see that. Okay, they've conquered most of my country. That's not great. Okay, you know what? They can liberate the Netherlands. I don't care anymore. That's fine. There. Alright, I lost the Netherlands, but it's fine. Actually, now that I think about it, that means I no longer have a port connection with this territory. So they'll probably start taking loads of attrition now. Let's see. Can I even put more generals there? Nope. Okay. That's not great. And you know, because of how this game works, I can't just go around and conquer another state. No. Can't do that. So then you think to yourself, is it violate sovereignty of state? Yeah, but it only works on certain ones. So even though this would allow me to cross over there, it's not going to let me conquer this state. Just, it won't let me. So I'll have to go through Belgium, it looks like. Now, if I can't even land on Belgium, is just going to have to do with if there's no French ships nearby. So this has just been horrible altogether. And look at that. My only admiral died as soon as I did that naval invasion order. Oh my god. Oh, it looks like we've landed. Alright, there might still be a chance. Never mind, there was 2 fronts, and it immediately got pushed right back into the sea because there was 2 fronts, and I only had 1 general there. I love this game. Okay, I thought I was recording, but I wasn't, but I launched another naval invasion, and this dude just walked all the way from here and into here in like a week. So this general, I think this is the king. Yeah, he's doing pretty well. All I need now is for my generals to actually arrive at the front, and then we should be good. Well, the king died mid-naval invasion when I was doing a naval invasion here. So this is the new guy. He's got no personality traits. And I can't make him a general, so we gotta get another one out here. And look at that. All 3 of these guys are offensive planners. I think I'm gonna go with either this guy, because he's innovative, but this guy's meticulous. We'll go for this guy. So there's supposed to be a naval invasion happening. But it's not happening. It just says naval invading at HQ. I'm not sure what's going on there. It looks like they've completely mobilized every man, woman, and child onto this front line. So that means there's nothing guarding their ports. So if I can get through their navy and get mine to actually work, I'm going to try saving and reloading for that. If I can get through their navy, then I should have no problem naval invading. Peace proposal, white peace. Let me try something first before I sign a white peace. Let's see, is it going to work this time? Hey, it actually did. Oh, and we're going to get through their navy. We're right outside Paris, but they've got 155 battalions there. That does mean that they're taking them off of this front, though, so we should be able to win. If we could actually get enough battalions in a fight, that is. Man, this does not feel good. Alright, just had about 1 million people die for absolutely no reason. It is time to build one fat navy. Now I'm going to learn from my mistakes and actually take this little territory. I'm going to put the traitless king onto the front line, because if he's got no traits and has experience, he's more likely to get traits like expert offensive and expert defensive planner. Oh, they really want to do this. Okay, good for them, I guess. This guy isn't even like, he's not in the same position. He's just sitting there like, oh, what's happening? He is now cautious. Not what I was expecting, but that's fine. I'll be honest with you guys. This challenge has been really hard. I wasn't expecting it to be this difficult. Like Prussia's, like you'd think they'd be super strong, but the only reason they're strong is because they can just diplomatically annex loads of territory for no cost. And that's the territories connected. And we have breech load artillery now. All right, it should get a lot easier now. Now those are some very interesting borders there, America. This is honestly really taking it out of me. It's 1871 and I've barely taken any territory. I still need to conquer like most of this continent. So I've come up with a plan, all right? When this modifier turns off, I'm going to invade Austria, so hopefully they haven't modernized their army before then, which they haven't yet. And then I'll invade Russia. Oh, imagine that. Huh. Okay, well, I guess I'll invade Russia right now. And then... Okay then. But like I was saying before I was interrupted, I was going to invade Austria, then Russia, and then I was going to invade the Ottoman Empire after I invade Austria. While they're still weak, I can get a lot of this territory because it is part of Europe. And then I was going to go after Italy, and then hopefully I'll be too powerful for them to beat me so that I can finally go after France and actually win. I might go after Spain before then, so I can have two fronts, but I'm not sure yet. I need to build a navy before then. The Italians have joined the Russians. That's not very good because the Italians have a pretty big navy. Yeah, 111 ships, and the Russians have 146. I've got 25. Oh, 26 now. Mine are ironclad, so they have a quality advantage. But, you know, 100 versus 25, which one's going to win? However, once again, I do feel a little bit too confident in my abilities, so I'm pretty sure the Russians have made a little bit of a mistake here. Liberate Ukraine. Let's also liberate Belarus. Where is it? There it is. And then let's go for Latvia, so then they'll be completely cut off from this space. And that's all I can take. All right, this is going to be expensive, and this is going to suck. All right, let's see how we're doing. We're winning there. Are we winning here? I feel like we should be, but we're not. Why is that? Once again, it is because they are using first aid and I'm not. I should really start investing in that at some point. Oh man, and the Swedish are just getting pulverized. Apparently there's oil here. That could be useful. Ah, look at that. We are pushing. We are pushing. We're not pushing a lot, but we are pushing. Well, I lost. Somehow. Funnily enough, though, I spent so much time just managing the economy and not really doing anything that all I lost was this territory. But, you know, I'm fine with that. It's weird, though, because it's like... So, what happened was, and I didn't really record a whole lot of it because I thought I was going to win. But, they like pushed really far into here, but then I like closed it off, so it was like this giant encirclement here, but they just wouldn't die in there for some reason because there's like 200 battalions in there, and it's like I could have annihilated them pretty easily, and I was winning a lot of the battles, but it was only taking like one province at a time, so I just couldn't. And yeah, they held too much of my territory, and I guess that's why I capitulated. You know what, guys, I've lost like every war that like actually mattered. So the only territory I've taken is Scandinavia. Honestly, at this point, I think I'm just gonna leave it at like it was too difficult. I think I failed the challenge. This whole campaign is really taking it out of me. It's taking me like 4 days to do this, and I just don't see any way I can do this. I've got 325 battalions. It's all like better than everyone around me. They're all better battalions. They've all got shrapnel artillery, but like I just can't seem to win any of the battles because of like conditions, and they just somehow always manage to get more into the fight, and it's always just dumb stuff like that. So this has been very frustrating. Yeah, I don't know what else to say to that. I'm not gonna ask you to subscribe, like, or comment. Just click off the video, watch one of my other videos where I actually complete the challenge, but that's it. Goodbye.